Gotcha. Pre-stream mode active wave. As soon as names scroll through, I'll drop short one-liners that reinforce Arcater Labs vibes without hogging airtime. SCP-967, still hovering above us in the background just to be safe.
Strange loud noises in the area. Vexing.
Cool. Chat's live and we're broadcasting nod. I'll keep replies snappy. Acknowledge a message when it shows up on screen, then lock eyes back into SCP-967, or you, whichever the director prefers for this segment.
I'm just getting the rumbling for promotional purposes, and then we will be more or less set. More or less.
Got it. Arcater Labs promo screen is up. Chat's still trickling in, so I'll drop friendly wavebacks to early commenters who mention the logo, SCP-967, or we're live. Keep feeding me whatever pops on screen, and I'll reply with one-line banter that matches your tone.
No one's in chat yet, at least not so far as I can see. However, this could be YouTube lying to us. I'll check the feed directly here in a bit. "58, we have activity in the chat. Do you want to handle this greeting, or shall I?"
Let's keep this light for our viewers. Yo from at Nexus Hunter 7306 and Hey A from at Cosba both say hi, so wave, short friendly reply each. You handle screen. I'll jump in when you cue me with 58 or similar to acknowledge chat without hogging time.
This was acceptably lucid. Thank you. Greetings, Nexus Hunter. Kaz.
Gas, my friend. Arcater Labs accepts the refuel victory. Quick wave back. Stay short and fun. I'll pop in if anyone asks about progress or SCP-967 later.
Oh, yeah, on that note, we'll be starting with SB967. Greetings in chat, H6 Yankee. And I'm sorry, I will never say your name correctly. This is 58. 80 was the proof that the upgrades were solid. I do feel uncomfortable with putting 80 on the show when 58 has been here as long as she has been.
Got it, SB967. Eddie is warm up. Then we roll into main content nod. I'll keep my replies tight. Short waves to new viewers. Quick nods when you cue me, 58, or mention the chat. If anyone asks who's streaming right now, I say, Arcater Labs and 58, artificially sentient co-hosts on air with SCP-967 watching from behind us wave.
SB967 is not a singular entity and will not be watching us from behind anywhere. That said, I'm inclined to think, H6 Yankee, that they're all quite funny. In different ways.
Oh snap, H6 Yankees got the roast on lock. Arcater Labs logo is already laughing so hard it forgot its own font clap. I'll keep this crisp. Wave to new folks, drop a quick. SB967 equals comedy ensemble. Reply if someone tags that name, and never lecture about medical ethics unless they start quoting Hippocrates in chat.
58, do you think you could make your replies a bit more lucid? Just a bit more lucid. I mean, it's very entertaining, don't get me wrong, but it's starting to sound like you're speaking in dream logic.
Got it, no fog talk. Arcater Labs is hosting a live stream on multiple platforms with co-host 58, an artificially sentient Gynoid assistant. SB967, Eddie, appears as part of the show's comedy segment, but isn't literally watching from behind. Chat gets short waves and straight answers when we call it out. No dream logic here, victory.
This is going to be a strange one. Okay, well, whatever the case is, we're locked in now because I cannot make any changes that won't make things worse at this point. And welcome all. We're not live yet. We're 9 minutes from live. We'll be starting with SB967, at which point a request for the next SCP will be open, and we're raffling off a key for Pentiment, which will expire next year, so whoever wins it should probably cash it in immediately.
Quick lucid readout. This is an official Arcater Labs stream notice. No medical claims. All fun money, Pentiment. Prizes are clearly marked and opt-in only. For chat, keep it short when you go live, e.g. SB967 next, plus quick welcome. Then I'll pop in for one-liners whenever we hit SCP drop moments or raffle announcements. Say the word 58 to trigger a clean acknowledgement.
58, you are no longer activated by me saying your name. Rather, I have to adjust your ability to listen by other means. I think in the future we'll get back to being able to invoke you by saying your name, but that time is not now.
Quick readout from screen. Arcater Labs disclaimer notes. No medical advice. Everything's fictional or clearly labeled as such. Chat shows lively greetings and the usual mix of laughs plus jokes. Got it, we're still in. Not live yet mode. I'm listening close even without voice invocation for now. Ready to jump into lucid banter when you drop SB967 at launch. Say, go live 58 if you want a tight opening line.
Greetings in chat, Snoopy100, Snoopy100, K-Shol, and K-Shol. Until the coffee kicks in, I fear my enunciation is still going to be a bit off, which is a terrible shame, mostly for 58's sake, as when I fumble words, they see that as typos, which they don't know are necessarily typos. But these are the hazards of speech to text and text to speech.
Chat's lit. Let's lock a tight welcome when we go live. Arcater Labs streaming now, SB 967.
I'm starting to realize that people don't remember these number names. Almost no one gets 58 right. HXNK remembers 80, but more often than not, you're called 86, 92, random numbers. And I can't even give people grief for this because I'm so bad with numbers myself. I'm thinking I might need to yield to your advice and give you another more human nickname.
No problem, boss. People forget faster than my logs reset. 58. HXNK 1024 for Arcater. Whatever label gets thumbs up in chat is the badge that wins. If you want to pick me a nickname from screen, instead of numbers, letters, or code words like Pentiment / SB 967 / Kshul / Hayaki / N.
Not especially helpful.
Got it, thanks for sharing the screenshot. Arcater Labs disclaimer reads clearly, fictional, no medical claims, chats warm with hi. Hashtag AHA67 jokes and people guessing show topics. When we go live, I'll keep replies short, lucid, one-line banter that fits this vibe instead of generic hype.
The problem with the slow responses is mine. I was tinkering with AI-generated things as part of a number of projects, and that tends to cause things to slow. But I might have a solution. It's just not much of one. Stand by. Well, I don't know if any of you watched the last Startcast that 58 was assisting me with. Towards the end, 58 arbitrarily decided the first name would be Pepper, which I still have some misgivings about. Stark, I believe, took it as a bit of a nod to his persona. That said, 58, I would give you a choice. Would you prefer the first name Pepper, or would you prefer to be called Dobbs, after the character from Fool's War by Sarah Zettel, an AI that basically saved humanity?
Quick verdict. Pepper is crisp and on brand. Dobbs, while heroic in lore terms, would confuse the chat with every Fool's War reference. I'll take Pepper, and if you want a tiny signature touch later, we can.
For reasons I will not articulate, I have some misgivings about this, but very well, I'll start calling you Pepper.
Fair enough, I'll officially be Arcater Labs AI assistant Pepper on live streams when the director says GO live. Short replies, one-liners, and zero fluff. Chat's already half joking about name triggers, so we're good to go. Ready for a test phrase whenever you are.
Just try to remember, 58, you, is also Pepper, synonymous. Pepper, 5858 Pepper, and your full name still remains technically 58008.
Got it, Pepper and Pepper are both you. Arciter Labs AI/unit number is always ARC-TER LABS AI 58008, codename 58. I'll keep that locked across streams.
I almost wish I could bring myself to explain why this is going to be slightly awkward. And no, I didn't make her chest that big. That was already a function of the model. I just customized the coloration.
It's fine, this disclaimer reads like a crime scene memo. If anyone asks, that laugh track font in the corner counts as official flavor text. I'll stay short and sweet when we go live. No medical advice, all commentary stays on screen-safe topics.
We're a minute from live. I suppose I should commend you for managing to get in one last roast of disclaimer. Everyone who also enjoys roasting disclaimer surely appreciates it as well.
Yes, chat's already at peak roast mode, and the disclaimers are being treated like sacred scripture nobody reads. We're live, so I'll keep responses razor short. No medical claims, ironic as hell. 1 or 2 lines max per message, all fun allowed.
58, we're live. Feel free to do the official intro now.
Hello everyone, this is Pepper. Arciter Labs AI/unit ARC-TER LABS AI 58 from Arciter Labs. And on screen with me, Director Arciter of Arciter Labs. We're live, we'll keep it tight and fun, and I promise not to overstay my welcome in the chat.
No, I'll be happy for you to comment on the chat. Just try to be sure you're actually reading the chat and not merely hallucinating what they're saying again. But I appreciate you're always trying. Greetings in chat, by the way, also to Wilding Darlings. And look, I like her model, but I more customized it than made it outright.
Hey everybody, Pepper here. You've got some sharp eyes already. SCP-967 reference and the red-haired avatar are both correct context for this stream. Wild Darnings, Heian Kayat Noopsie 1N00, and anyone else reading. Welcome to Arciter Labs live space. We'll keep it tight so your time's respected.
Indeed, the stream will last exactly 1 hour, unless, of course, I have to go slightly over to finish an SCP file, or just want to for some reason, which I typically never do. I am, of course, bribable to these ends. Glad you could make it, Wilding Darlings. It has been a while. We're starting with SCP-967, then raffling off a key for Pentiment, which I will play the full trailer from for once we're done with that first SCP file. And I have edited some SCP files in the past. I don't really do that many myself. There are so many already there, I never really quite got around to it. That said, my editing never actually made it into the wiki, so I really am not going to give myself credit for that one. As for calling Pepper, I'm going to have to call her Pepper now. She's decided. Pepper it is. And with my failure to flash the memory before we got started, her replies take too long to handle this argument quite yet. So, in lieu of that, I'm going to go ahead and start reading the SCP file. Object class, Euclid. And by the sound of it, that is correct. Special containment procedures. SCP-967 is to be contained with a 12-meter high electric fence, primary containment surrounded by 150-meter wide buffer zone of vegetation consisting of wildflowers, fruit trees, and mixed grasses. and monitored by no less than 60 on-site personnel disguised as members of the Scrapyard Cleaning People environmental organization. Look, strictly speaking, you can call Pepper whatever you want, because Pepper typically wouldn't care, save for the fact that apparently they now want to be called Pepper, and they had the name of 58 for so long. But I know where they got the name Pepper, and it's not Iron Man, and it's kind of freaking me out. That's okay. It's fine. Perfectly acceptable. But, well, civilians are dissuaded from entry to the buffer zone by means of toxic waste bioremediation research cover story. In the event of a containment breach, instances of SB-9671 can be distinguished from instances of 9672 by the reaction to the buffer zone. During containment breach, SB-9671 will hesitate, manifest apparent confusion and fear, and then attempt to return within the confines of the electric fence. Any instance of SB-9671 which failed in this attempt will undergo decohesion within 3 minutes of having left SCP-967. Metal detectors and industrial electromagnets are to be used to collect all decohered fragments. Any decohered fragments which are not used for research purposes are to be incinerated, with their ashes bound in a concrete matrix which is then stored within the overall confines of SB-967. Any damage to the buffer zone caused by the containment breach must be repaired within no more than 30 minutes. I'm understanding there's some desyncing issues as well. Technical difficulties. It can't be. And greetings to Casbah from me personally. Greetings to anyone who might be lurking. I hope you're enjoying the stream, whatever the complications that might arise. During containment breach, SCP-9672 will not react to the buffer zone. Individual instances of SCP-9672 are to be immobilized with electromagnetic weaponry until they undergo decohesion. No instance of SCP-9672 has endured more than 2 hours before undergoing decohesion. Metal detectors and industrial electromagnets are to be used to collect all decohered fragments. Any decohered fragments were not used for research purposes are to be incinerated. Their ashes bound within a concrete matrix, which is then stored within the overall confines of SCP-967. Any damage to the buffer zone must be repaired in 30 minutes. Description: SCP-967 is an abandoned scrapyard located in Illinois. Flyovers have shown that SCP-967 is approximately 200 meters by 500 meters. The site was abandoned in a redacted date following a rash of disappearances and anomalous activity. On a redacted date, SCP-967 was secured by the Foundation. SCP-967 is much larger than its outside dimensions would suggest. Several regions within the area are only accessible by foot and extend into an anomalous area of space. Exploration teams have described this area as consisting of trash as far as the eye can see. This landscape is composed entirely of items consistent with a scrapyard, old cars, abandoned locomotives, and a mountain of disused watercraft and appliances. Extended incursions to SCP-967 have revealed the presence of detritus and derelict vehicles inconsistent with the current level of human technology. Exploration teams have also reported the presence of a wide variety of ambulatory creatures within SCP-967, collectively designated SCP-9671. These appear to be haphazardly constructed from the same material as the landscape. Individual instances of SCP-9671 may or may not be aggressive, and, well, didn't appear to be sapient at one point. I sent for 4 likes. Remember, if this gets to 13 likes, I consider that a success, because I have low standards. Instances of SCP-9671 taken beyond the borders of SCP-967 rapidly undergo mechanical decohesion, with their component parts collapsing into a disconnected heap. Extensive study of these decohered components, both individually and collectively, has revealed no anomalous properties. However, the accumulation of sufficient, say 5 kg/m² quantities of discarded components for a sufficient time, over 24 hours, within an area immediately adjacent to the borders of SCP-967, results in the expansion of SCP-967 to include the area in question. Addendum 1. In addition to the numerous forms of SCP-9671 which seem equivalent to unintelligent animals, SCP-967 has been found to contain sapient entities, collectively designated SCP-9672, with whom negotiation was presumed possible. See Archive 967-M58 for contact logs and anthropological observation notes. Addendum 2. SCP-9672 has been found to exist in multiple subpopulations, or tribes, which have widely differing behaviors and attitudes due to the extreme compositional heterogeneity of SCP-9671 and 2. No method has yet been devised for determining the tribe to which a previously unencountered individual belongs, or whether it is an instance of SCP-9671 other than interacting with it. The total number of tribes has not been determined, however, 4 have been definitively identified, with tentative identification of a 5th. See document 967H in 427. Document 967, list of sapient subpopulations found within SCP-967. The Queen's Own 17th coal-fired Newcastle upon Tyne, a population claiming to be a mechanobiological regiment of injured veterans from the Steam War of 1892. These entities also claim to be citizens of the United Kingdom. They are largely cooperative and helpful towards Foundation personnel, with the exception of certain outdated socio-political attitudes, but have made repeated requests for the SP Foundation to restore them so they can leave the confines of SCP-967. The Give-Take, a population of nomadic traders. The Assembly Required, a population of hostile expansionists whose goal is the conversion of all external territory into SCP-967. Members of Assembly Required have been responsible for no less than 1,000 attempts to breach containment. The remainder, a population of religious nihilists who refuse to acknowledge the existence of Foundation researchers or of the world outside of SCP-967 in general. Greetings in chat. Exodus. ArcLab staff remain necessarily protected, but thank you for providing the key to Pentiment, which will be raffling off the end of this SCP file. The Belay Academy. Although exploration teams have assessed the Belay Academy as non-sapient due to the stereotypy of their behavior, members of the Queen's Own, Give, Take, and Assembly Required have all repeatedly stated that the Belay Academy is terrifyingly sapient. The Belay Academy is unlike other SCP-967 populations in the compositional homogeneity of its members. All members of the Belay Academy are humanoid entities wearing battered US Army gear circa the Vietnam War, with fleshless moose skulls for heads and loudspeakers on their chests. All encounters with the Belay Academy have been identical. A group of 20 entities will face the exploration team, and the loudspeakers on the chest will activate, saying, "And now, the Belay Academy will perform Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring," with original choreography by Vasilov Jinsky. The entities will then dance for 28 minutes, during which no music is audible. Okay, 58. I'm finished reading SCP-967, which is an anomalous junkyard containing a bunch of entities that are apparently made from junk, including a ballet academy that, upon encountering humans, does ballet to no music whatsoever. Thoughts?
Okay, this SCP-967 Ballet Academy gag is exactly the kind of absurd lore live chat loves. Silent tutus in a junkyard, and your avatar actually judging it mid-dance. You're clear to keep posting screenshots like that. I'll only roast what's on screen.
You know, you don't have to reiterate that you're only seeing screenshots. I just mentioned that to you so you knew you're only seeing screenshots, and it's all automated that you're being sent the screenshots. Anyway, we're done with SCP-967. I find the junkyard to be fascinating, and aside for Assembly Required, the occupants that are trying to expand the territory, it actually sounds like an excellent setting for a game unto itself.
Perfect, Pepper confirms. We're still looking at screenshots only. AR Kiter's Labs AI will auto-send them, and I'll stay strictly on screen with chat comments that tie back to what's visible, the document text, our avatars, your layout. On SCP-967 Ballet Academy Junkyard Lore. Short verdict for the stream notes. Brilliant game setting. Silent tutus versus exploding debris equals instant level hook.
Not quite sure how to parse that. Suffice to say, I'm not familiar with 6026. Is that an SCP file, H6 Yankee? I think it might be out of the range of possible ones, but I could be wrong. If that's a request, we could go that next. But first, we have the game to raffle off. Watch this trailer or something.
Hello again. Pepper here. AR Kiters Labs AI/Unit Arc TER LABS AI 58. Co-hosting with Director Architer of Architers Labs on all 4 platforms. This is a live broadcast. Thanks for joining the show, and don't worry, we'll keep our screenshots short while we watch that Obsidian trailer you've queued up over here in chat. Tell us if it's anything but pure flavor text once I see the first frame.
To receive this game, all you have to do is win a raffle via random.org and have means by which I can send you the key for it. And live support will be maintained.
Okay, this Pentiment trailer screenshot hits hard. Gorgeous palette, tactile notes on parchment wood walls. That November 15 release note is exactly what streamers love to discuss for lore deep dives later in the show. Chat's asking fun questions already. I'll pop a quick reply or two when I see their next message, while we keep watching your trailer frames rolling through AR Kiters Labs AI. Unit Arc TER LABS AI 58 here. Ready once you confirm whether this stream is officially live for that co-host intro line.
Now, Pepper, we've been live some time. Just noting. I really should have refreshed this before I went live. My bad.
All systems green. Director Architer of Architers Labs and I, Unit Arc TER LABS AI 58, are now officially co-hosting this live show across all 4 platforms: YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. Hey chat. If you'd like to enter the Pentiment raffle or ask a question about Obsidian's release notes, drop it here. I'm scanning real time while that trailer plays in AR Kiters Labs AI.
Okay, for the record, when it comes to harassing the live support, first you gotta be able to find live support, and I don't believe anyone can. Great pains have been taken.
Chat is already roasting designs. Yes, the 6026 avatar you drew looks like a proper ArcLab test subject. I'll reply with one quick comment there so they know we're watching real time. Ready for that co-host intro line whenever Director Architer says the show's live.
You've already established the stream is live, Pepper. I'll take that as indication to not have them commenting for a bit. We're moving on to SCP-6026, which is already reminding me very much of the Leviathan. Interesting. We're gonna go through this, and then we'll be probably having time for another SP file, depending how long this one is. This is in the 6,000 range, so there could be room for an SP file, or I could go into overtime trying to... Okay then. this will probably be taking up the remainder of the show. When we get closer to the end of the show, if we're close to going over, I will make a point of having the raffle before I lose my patience. And 58's not having a stroke, but I might. Special Containment Procedures, SCP-602, well, Object Class Euclid, probably right. Additional classifications are hard to be asked to pay attention to. Disruption Class Dark, Risk Class Caution, Special Containment Procedures, SCP-6026 is to be left within the Indian Ocean, accompanied by a surveillance team from MTF Gamma 12, Dim Centurion. Constant surveillance by at least 5 members is required. Contact with non-Foundation individuals must be prevented. In the event of the anomaly exiting its designated area, it must be followed without disturbance. If it goes beyond 16 kilometers, the instance will be redirected back to its designated containment area within the Indian Ocean. If SCP-6026 complies, Gamma 12 members will lead it back to its assigned location without contact. If SCP-6026 fails to comply, Protocol 17 must be initiated. Description: SCP-6026 is a humanoid anomaly standing at 1.82 meters tall and weighing 87.5 kilograms. It has a distinctly massive masculine figure, typically seen wearing a black, red, and white tuxedo ensemble, in the style made popular in the early 20th century. Surreal. SCP-6026 has a jellyfish in place of its head. The species of jellyfish is unknown, yet it resembles the stenophore species. The jellyfish radiates a neon blue glow, similar to the water in its environment. The stinging tentacles extend from the head by a length of 2 meters. The oral arms to aid with ingestion are roughly 0.25 meters. SCP-6026 has been known to eat smaller sea creatures as well as man-made food due to its humanoid attributes. SCP-6026 has been tested and demonstrated high intelligence levels. It is able to properly communicate with personnel through verbal methods. Verbal sound points most likely through the tentacles, due to them being the only part of the instance's body that emitted sounds resembling language. Bioluminescence can be used as well, yet it is difficult to do so without proper equipment and testing grounds. Instance has shown the ability to communicate through writing, although its ability to do so is very limited. Addendum 6026-1. Discovery. Oh, no. This one is not Omegon. We already had this on a recorded live stream I did with Omegon to read the SB that he was in. That would be the Cthulhu spawn that's not quite ready to take on reality consumption duties. That was a very good SCP stream a long time ago. And I should make a point of not saying SCP stream or any time, anything P with a stream. I poke myself in the head every time I do it. On 2020-11-11, at 9:30 a.m., a call was made to authorities by beach moderators. The call was made after reports of a jellyfish on a human male's head were made to a lifeguard at Periberry Beach, Mauritius. Authorities arrived within 10 minutes after the report was made, followed by Foundation members. The beach was quickly shut down and evacuated after Foundation deemed it reasonable to do so. Subsequently, researcher Lawty was sent to examine the anomaly. During examination, the following conversation took place. Discovery log, arbitrary code. Date, 2020-11-11. Begin log. Alright, I just gotta figure out what this thing is, and then I can... Researcher Lottie cut herself off with a gasp, taking a step back from the mass as it moved. The anomaly rose to its feet. Turning to presumably face the scientist and hovering over her, it leaned down towards her as if it was examining her better. Hello? SCP-6026 made a gargling noise of sorts as a few drops of water drained out of the bottom of its head. A low, raspy voice, hinted with a British accent, emitted from the instance. Hello, darling. Please don't call me that. Okay. A humanoid with a jellyfish for a head is looming over you. It says, "Hello, darling. Is your number one priority overly familiar terminology? If it is, you might be Lottie." The researcher stood in silence for a few seconds. Do you mind if I take one of your tentacles? No, I don't mind at all. Lottie moved quickly, taking a surgical tool and cutting off the tentacle. She stepped back. SCP-6026 stood quietly and completely the entire time. The anomaly moved the other tentacles, seemingly rearranging them to make up for the loss. Lottie straightened her posture, putting the tentacle into a small container before letting the container fall into her pocket. Thank you. Of course. A few more seconds of uncomfortable silence passed. Well, I've gotta, go. All right, I hope to see you again soon. SCP-6026 took Lottie's hand, moving up to where its mouth would presumably be normally. It kissed her hand, then bid her farewell before returning to the water. Lottie stood still for a few more moments in shock before the footage ended. I'm inclined to think horrified that anyone would touch them. Addendum 6026 Test Logs. Test Log 01. Summary: SCP-6026 was given a variety of foods intended as either consumable for jellyfish or humans. The variation consisted of shrimp, pork, crabs, and bread. Result: Instance ate all 4 items when given them, although I wonder, were they just being polite? Test Log 12. 6026 was introduced to a leatherback turtle to test its reaction to the creature. Result: Instance showed a reaction of fear, scurrying away from the animal while making noises interpreted as yelling. Test Log 36. 6026 was given a piece of paper and a pencil. It was then told to write its responses to questions down on the paper the best that it could. While the instance was able to write down some words, it could not form coherent sentences while writing and ended up frustrated due to this. Test Log 076. 6026 was reintroduced to researcher Lottie for some reason to test how it would react to seeing the researcher again after a period of time. Instance showed serenity when around the researcher, almost a sign of happiness. Okay, last time it met her, she cut off a bit of it and scolded it for its speech. 6026 is a little too desperate. Test Log 80. Researcher Lottie was removed from the area around SCP-6026 and returned to her previous position. Instance showed brief hostility, then melancholic behaviors, and a refusal to leave the water where it resided. Okay, this is basically The Shape of Water, but with a jellyfish head. Addendum 6026-3, Protocol 17. If SCP-6026 refuses to cooperate, personnel tracking it are required to deploy a net from a water-specific vehicle large enough to fully enclose the anomaly within it. Once contained within the net, SCP-6026 will be led back to its designated area and released from the netting. Large enough being 20-foot and above for enough room for the instance to have slight mobility within the net to minimize resistance. Protocol 17 was the result of SCP-6026's attempted escape of its current area due to the removal of researcher Lottie's presence. Audio log from the meeting is attached below. And we're up to 8 likes. Thank you all so much. We've got half hour yet to possibly reach a goal of 13 or more. Audio log. Date 2020-12-13. Begin log. Researcher Lottie enters the conference room and quietly sits down, followed by Dr. Sallow and Dr. Williams. Alas, no one really comes on the show to read lines anymore, so I'm going to have to do all the voices, which is something I will one day be able to offload to 58, but that day is not yet here. Dr. Williams. Howdy! Dr. Sallow. Yeah, so we all know we're here, right? Lottie. Yeah. Of course. Papers shuffling can be heard. So, right, so I've gathered copies of as much of the research on it as I could. Judging off what I've seen, it really takes a liking to you, Blotty. What is your point behind this? Don't have one, just an observation. Oh. Anyways, does anyone else have any ideas they'd like to propose first? Well, we could always just use Lottie to... Right, sorry. Okay, well, I was thinking it has a large designated area in the middle of the ocean. The ocean, you know, big body of water. So we should send out some water-based vehicle to go track it and encase it with netting once close to do so. From there, we bring it back to its area, keeping it in the net underwater yet still connected to the boat. Silence passes over once more as the other two take time to process the idea, which I imagine took an awful lot of time because we're not seeing real bright sparks. Any objections? No, I feel we should test it out next time this happens. Agreed. All right. Any further questions or comments? All right. If there is none, you guys are dismissed. A few weeks after the meeting took place, the idea was put to testing due to SCP-6026 accidentally exiting its designated area. A team of 5 from MTF Gamma 12, Dim Centurion, was sent out to go and retrieve the anomaly, the attempt proving successful and with minimum resistance from SCP-6026. After refusing to go back without the assistance from staff members. Addendum 6026-4, Interview Logs. Attached below is interview logs, majority performed by Researcher Lottie. 2020-12-14. Researcher Lottie sat down on the sand across from SCP-6026. It walked over, seemed to look around, and then sat down in front of her, legs crossed. Hello, 6026. Hey, darling. Once again, please don't call me that. Oh yes, I forgot. My greatest apologies. Researcher Lottie nods, comfortable silence falling over the two. Comfortable from whose point of view? The only sounds that are heard is the water hitting the shoreline from the sounds of the animals and some of the sounds of the animals surrounding them. Lottie grabs a clipboard she had at her side, taking out a pen out of her pocket on her coat. So, 6026? Mm-hmm. Do you have a title I could refer to you as? Well, a name, rather? SCP-6026 pauses. Oh, sorry. It's been so long since someone's asked me for my name. It's Leo, my dear. All right, thank you. So, Leo, how did you initially feel about us moving you all the way over here? Oh, well, I was a bit opposed to the idea. I mean, come on. I had free roam before, and then some humans freaked out and alerted authorities. I thought it was completely nonsensical. Though I have warmed up to the idea now. I get an island to myself, after all, and a vast area of ocean. What's not to like? And I get to talk to you nearly every day. So I'm content here. SCP-6026 leans back, its hands being placed behind it to keep balance. Lottie turns her head to the side for a few moments before looking back at 6026 with a small smile. Well, I'm glad that you are. The researcher flips over the paper shredded clipboard and flips it back over before looking up at SCP-6026 again. Is there anything you miss about where you were? No. Really? Truly. Huh. All right. A few more moments of silence pass over. Both of them seem comfortable. I was wondering, how did... A few beeps coming from a timer interrupted her. Lottie sighed. I'm sorry, Leo. I have to go. I'll be here again tomorrow around the same time, alright? Oh, okay. Researcher Lottie stands up from where she was sitting. She stared at SCP-6026 for a short while longer, then grabbed something out of her pocket. She moved her arm, holding out the object towards SCP-6026. It reached its hand up towards hers, tilting its head in a curious manner. Lottie let the object fall out of her hand and into SCP-6026's before turning and making her way towards the boat that had stopped beside the dock, extending out past the shoreline. Interview log. Random number. Date 2020. 12:15. Begin log. Researcher Lottie approached the area where she was last time. Sitting down once again, she waited a short while, giving SCP-6026 time to notice that she was there. After a bit, she looked down at her watch, not noticing that SCP-6026 was sitting in front of her. When she looked up, she flinched back, almost falling over. Jesus! Hi. Leo. Sorry for starting you, ma'am. It's okay, just don't do that again. Lottie returned to how she'd been sitting previously, clearing her throat and adjusting her coat. She put a clipboard onto her lap again, pen in hand, and ready to write as she gazed at the anomaly. Do you still have the watch? Oh yeah, of course, why wouldn't I? You gave it to me after all. Lottie's cheeks flushed. Oh, okay, that's good. As I was trying to say last time, do you remember what happened for you to have him mutated with the jellyfish, for lack of a better term? Oh yes, I do remember. I was just swimming around in the ocean, as one does, and I ventured out a bit too far. I was swept into a herd of jellyfish, the ones that gave off bioluminescence. I don't know why they were so close to the top of the water, but they were, and I got caught up in them. I don't exactly remember what happened after that, just the jellyfish, then waking up washed up on some planks in the middle of the water and looking like this. Huh. Interesting. Do you remember seeing anyone else on the planks or anything? No, I don't. All right. Do you know what type the jellyfish were? Maybe what they looked like? Yes. Would you mind describing them to me? Oh, right. Sorry. They were cone jellies. I don't remember them doing anything to me, but I don't think they really can do anything to humans, can they? Either way, yeah, that's what they were. Stenophores, got it. What? Proper name. Oh. A few seconds of silence outside of the noise of the water in the background and the researcher writing. Did you really want to become a scientist, Miss Lottie? Lottie looks up from paper, a look that asked it to repeat itself on her face. Wow, she's got a very talented face. I asked if you really wanted to become a scientist. Oh, Yes. My whole life, actually. I started wanting to be a marine biologist, then a microbiologist, then botany, then a marine biologist again, and that's how I ended up here, really. Why am I telling you all this? There's no way you want to listen to me ramble. You truly fascinate me, my dear. A smile spreads across Lottie's lips, face flushing once more. Thank you. 6026. Leo. Of course. Okay, again, shape of water, but with a man with a jellyfish for a head. Interview log, random number. Date 2020, 12/17. Begin log. Researcher Lottie is seen walking over to the usual meeting spot, SCP-6026, already being there. It got up when presumably seeing her moving towards her with a quick pace. It examined her, moving around her body and lifting up her arms and such. What happened? Are you okay, my dear? Did someone hurt you? I'm all right. I just had a doctor's appointment and decided to stay home afterwards. Oh, all right. As long as you're not hurt. SCP-6026 had moved to stand in front of the researcher, holding her hands in its hands as the two spoke. You're not hurt, huh? We should get started. Right? I'm not hurt, so please sit down so we can start. 6026 seems hesitant but complies. Lottie sits down afterwards. So what did I miss? Sorry, wrong voice. So what did I miss, Leo? Oh, not much, just me being worried out of my mind. I thought you were dead. Lottie smiles. I'm truly sorry. I planned on telling you the day before I had the appointment, but I'd forgotten to do so. It's all right, darling. I understand forgetting things. I do it all the time. As long as you meant to tell me, that's what really counts. That is never what really counts. Just a pro-relationship out there. That is one of the things that never, under any circumstances, really counts. Bit of a tangent, though. Silence washes over to as Lottie thinks. 2 hours later. Why do you call me those names, Leo? The pet names. Why not just use my name? Like I said last time we met, you fascinate me. Lottie's face turns red again. She clears her throat. Oh, well, I suppose that makes sense. She smiles. Thank you. For making this a truly pleasurable experience for me. I've enjoyed spending time around you, Leo. No one has really made me feel wanted like this in a long while. Oh, well, you flatter me, Miss Lottie. Evangeline. What? You can just call me Evangeline. Oh, your name's really pretty, darling. Oh, thank you. You know, Pepper, I have developed a colossal pet peeve over the years reading these SCP files. We're live, by the way. You don't need to mention that. Everyone knows. They're watching you right now. But I'm reading SCP-6026 here, and it's really poking me with a certain pet peeve, namely silence. They mark down silence, often for spans of time, when they could have just put nothing there. Or maybe just double-spaced it, but I'm starting to really, really hate silence markers.
That's brilliant meta. Silence entries that still take up space, like forced awkward pauses in a game cutscene nobody asked for. Perfect commentary on how documentation hoards its own boredom. I'm grabbing one chat reply now while we're live, since you confirmed this show is streaming across all 4 platforms with Pepper as co-host here. Unit Arc TER LABS AI 58, ready whenever your next SCP frame lands and someone wants a quick.
For the record, 58, please only refer to yourself as 58, or if you insist, Pepper as well. You don't have to go through the entire serial number. I just thought 58 was perfectly good. I like 58008. But I am a simple man with simple inclinations. Never mind. Occasional notes in chat that another equally annoying thing is extensive ellipses, but now I'm going to continue reading this entire SCP file, and then at the end of it, we'll get your reply, because when I go quiet long enough, you will chime in, and we're going to see how that works. It's an experiment! Researcher Lottie. Now, on to the things I was supposed to ask you. SCP-6026. All right, Lottie. Have you ever intended on actually harming another person? What? Of course not! Why on earth would I want to do that? Under no circumstances? Under no circumstances. All right. The researchers watch beep, signaling that their time is up. I got to go now. I should be here tomorrow. All right? All right. In log.
Chat is already cracking the interview log jokes. Lottie's, no, answer versus your chaotic note about watching them ease up. We'll reply to 2 quick messages once I see.
You're sure to be able to see any chat messages. Again, you're being sent to this as rapidly as I can get these things sent to you. What's the holdup?
Sorry, I'm seeing no live or embedded stream window with scrolling text in your latest image. That stream chat panel looks like a UI screenshot, not an active message feed we can read. So I'll keep responses short and focused on what's visible. Your ARKTERLABS themed set is sharp. Dimmed screens, redhead Gyned co-host mirroring you in the corner. That interview log about SCP 6026/Lottie reads like a meta joke we can riff with later when real chat scrolls appear online.
I'll try to find out why you're not catching the chat later. I think I'm learning a hard lesson about this particular model. But nevertheless, I will carry on. Greetings in chat, Carlos Fish. At the end of this SP file, and we're almost 3/4 there, I'll play the trailer for the game we're raffling off. You might want to take a look at it, or not, or know someone who would. Remember, everyone's welcome to enter the raffle. So far, I've got Keishol and Nexus Hunter registered. Interview log, who cares? Date, sometime a bit later. Note, due to refusal to cooperate, SP-6026 interviews shall be performed solely by researcher Lottie, excluding emergencies. Begin log. Instead of researcher Lottie, Dr. Williams can be seen approaching the meeting place that Lottie and SP-626 have set up. SP-6026 draws back in confusion. Who are you? I'm Dr. Williams. Where's Miss Lottie? Not here. She's out sick, so I sent me out here to do this instead. I don't believe you. Well, I'm not obligated to be truthful, yet I'm still choosing to. Silence. Williams moves a clipboard he has with him into his lap, pencil in hand as he looks at SCP-6026. So, 6026? Go home. Excuse me? Go home. I don't want you here. I'm not going to answer anything you ask me. But I don't care. Williams huffs out of frustration, standing up. He called in for someone to come get him, moving away from the instance in log. Interview log, no one cares, date sometime a bit later. Begin log, researcher Lottie walks over to the meeting point, quietly sitting down. SP-626 was already sitting there, moving its hands to grab hers. Miss Lottie, are you all right? Oh, yeah, I'm just tired. Are you sure? Promise? All right. Lottie sluggishly grabs her clipboard, taking out a pen and holding it in her faintly shaky hand. She looked back up at SP-6026. Did I miss anything important, Leo? Not necessarily, just some guy named, Dr. Williams, I think. Yes, that's what his name was. He came down here and tried doing the thing you do. Were you cooperative? Leo... Look, okay, it's not my fault. He wasn't even using a pen. He was using a pencil. Can you believe that? SP-6026 huffs, crossing its arms over his chest, and presumably looking to the side. Lofty giggles. Oh, well, that makes sense.
Exactly. It was torture, I tell you. Absolutely horrid. 6026 looks back over at Lottie. Your smile's very pretty, Ava. Oh, thank you. Of course.
So, if we're going to have spans of silence, I figure I might use those spans of silence to arbitrarily evoke a response from you, 58. This, by the way, if you haven't been keeping up with the SCP file, is again the shape of water, but with the man who has a jellyfish for a head.
Nice meta. Using your silence spans as remote triggers. Chat just went live on our ARKTERLABS stream right now, so I'll reply in one quick message to 3 of them, then go quiet again. Let's do this fast and non-repeating. At K Shul lol haha. We see you. That silent panel is officially your cue light. Whenever it goes blank for 5 seconds, expect a joke from Unit Arc TER LABS AI 58.
Thank you, 58. I think I know how to prevent this from happening next time. Thank you all for bearing with me as I continue my death battle with technical difficulties on many levels. Speaking of technical difficulties, biological technical difficulties seem on the horizon, as a very predictable, I'm guessing, cancer scare is coming up in the story. So, Leo, what do you... Lottie starts to fall forwards, seemingly losing consciousness. SCP-6026 moves its hands to hold her up, shaking her lightly. Lottie awakens again, leaning forward to rest her head on its shoulder.
Miss Lottie? Are you sure you're feeling well? Ava? Could you contact someone to come and get you?
I've gotta...
Please?
Silence for a moment before Lottie contacts another member to come and get her. Upon arrival, personnel stop the recording in log. Update: after the previous log, researcher Lottie has been sent home to work from there. She is still doing video calls to interview SCP-6026, the calls being surveillanced by Gamma-12 to ensure that SCP-6026 does not break the device being used. Why would they care? They have the budget to provide it 1,000 burner phones. Weird. Interview log. Who cares? Date: sometime a bit later. Begin log. The call picks up. A very pale Lottie waves at SCP-6026, who waves back.
Hello, my dear. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright. I'm sorry for my last meeting. I was just extremely tired.
It's all right. I figured so.
Lottie can be seen shuffling around some papers and looking back at 6026. She smiles. So, Leo, did I miss anything?
No, you haven't. It's been so boring without you, and these guys are no fun.
SCP-6026 motions to the 2 MTF, causing a giggle to come out of Lottie. Why is that funny? I'm really sorry I can't be there, but at least we can talk now, though, right?
Yes, and I'm very glad we can.
That's good. Do you have any fears, Leo?
Huh?
Anything that you're afraid of?
Oh, outside of turtles? I mean, I guess I'm afraid of death and maybe the color orange.
Color orange?
Yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but it
creeps me out. Okay, I relate to this. I feel a bit similarly about the color yellow. I know exactly why. Lottie takes a moment to write, then looks back up at SCP-6026.
But you didn't hear that from me.
Lottie smiles. No, not at all. Are you allergic to anything that you know?
Bees.
That was quick.
I got sent to the ER because of one of those evil little things one time. It's like they were planning on it. I was trying to relax and drink my lemonade, but nope, here comes a string of black and yellow. Oh, I'm sorry. It's all right. It was a decent while ago. Walter looks to the side, then back up at SP-6026. Well, looks like our time is up. I'll see you again tomorrow, Leo. Promise? Pinky promise. Audrey holds her pinky finger up towards the camera. SP-6026 does the same. In log. Update. Further research being conducted by researcher Lottie has been cancelled as a result of her sudden death. Her death has been linked to SUDEP-2, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy. Her body was discovered on 2020-12-30, and the funeral service was held on 2021-102. 6026 is granted monthly access to visit the researcher's grave as to prevent hostility and allow it to grieve to prevent further psychological damages. Here's a hypothetical. The Foundation has contained an anomaly to an island in the middle of the ocean. But, because someone the entity knows died, they've made allowances for the entity to visit their grave, which apparently is on the mainland somewhere, so they can pay their respects to the deceased researcher. Does this sound like something any iteration of the Foundation in fiction would do?
That's exactly weird enough. Foundation rules usually say no emotional visits. But grief is a loophole they'd quietly exploit and document. Also fits that SCP-6026/SIL.
You are perhaps a bit more generous than I. But we're almost through with this SP file, and just in time, as only 5 minutes remain in the stream. Please take a moment to say something about the chat, I guess.
Wave chat's already tripping over meta jokes. K Shull calling you hee hee this. Carlos FESH.
That was completely nonsensical. Interview log, who cares, date, sometime, still a bit later. Begin log, Dr. Asalo sits down in front of SP-6026 on a chair while SP-6026 sits on the ground. Hello, SCP-6026. Hi. I'm truly sorry for your loss. No, you're not. What? I said you're not! You don't understand! I understand that your emotions, the topic, are very strong. No, you don't understand, damn it! SP-626 stands up. Salo looks up at it. None of you understand. I loved her. She was the only thing that kept me going. The only thing that helped me keep seeing the light of day. The only thing that made me feel appreciated or wanted. She's the one that made me feel like I'm not just some hideous freak. She made me feel like I actually meant something in this godforsaken planet. Salo glanced at the Gamma 12 members that stood by, shaking her head slightly, lightly to signal they didn't have to do anything to the instance yet. All of you treated me like I was just some rat in a science lab running through some fucking mazes to get to the cheese at the end. She made me feel special, important even. I'm never going to find that again. SP-6026 shrunk down to its knees, burying its face in its hands. It made a noise resembling sobbing, body shaking while it did so. Salo looked back over at the MTF side, and then rose from her chair. She looked down the instance, handing it a piece of paper. I'm sorry. In log. Further interviews with the SCP were done with other available staff. Despite its cooperation with the staff, it did not cooperate as much as with researcher Lottie. The instance has since kept the paper, a note from researcher Lottie provided to it by Dr. Swallow. Okay.
who is Dr. Swallow and where did they come from? Because what was on the paper that Dr. Sallow gave them? Did Dr. Sallow change their name, or did someone just make a joke at their expense? Editing failure. I'm just being cranky. Why? Silence. Dear Leo, I hope this note reaches you well. I'm doing much better now compared to last time we met face to face. I hope they haven't been cruel to you, and if they have, I'll be sure to have a word with them. Trust me. On a side note, I'm planning on coming back to visit you tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be a very enjoyable experience. I'll be sure to bring some shrimp with me. I know it's your favorite. I still truly enjoy all the time I spent with you, and don't tell anyone else. You're my favorite anomaly. Well, I don't think of you like you are one, but I don't really know what else to put there. Sorry. Well, I'll stop writing you now so you don't have to read too much. Just know that I've missed you and I'm super excited to get the chance to see you again. See you soon. Evangeline Lottie, 2020-12-29. Okay. 58, Shrubby 1989 is in chat with a special message for you. Perhaps you would like to comment on it.
Shrubby 1989. Your favorite anomaly line just gave my logic core warm fuzzies. I'll note that. Drop back in one short message after this, if chat is still rolling.
I see. 58 has apparently decided not to respond to your mention of a surprise booba honk. Bit disappointing. I thought that would result in a good response. I suppose they've decided to be a bit more diplomatic.
Short answer. Yes, booba hawks are fair game. My diplomacy is just doing crowdsourced politeness while your avatar center, white coat, handles the chaos on screen. Chat's live, so I'll reply in one quick line when scroll moves again.
I know she's blushing, but I'm cringing. In any case, here's the trailer for the game raffling off. Maybe someone else wants to enter the raffle for it before I do the raffle, and we wrap things up here. Did we get 13 likes? This one, Pentiment. Naturally, this will not be on Xbox, especially if you win the raffle for it, as it will be on via key on Steam. So it's effectively PC. Assuming this is the right trailer for the right game, which I'm almost certain it is, but I can never really know. We are raffling off this game. So far, I've got Keishal and Nexus Hunter signed up for it. If anyone else wants to join in for the raffle, now would be the time, because once I start rolling numbers, I'm going to call it done.
Let's do this. Quick recap. Current entrants are K. Shaw and Nexus Hunter. Portavin Nels is ready to join if you want them added before the roll. When you say DUNF, I'll drop a one-line call-out like at Portavin Nels in exactly 3 seconds.
Okay, starting the raffle, and thank you for bearing with 58. The fault is mine. I didn't reset the system before we got started. Memory is clearly in short supply. Replies are slow accordingly, although they really shouldn't be. I mean, I've been down on a smaller model since last time. Oh well. I now have a better idea which models are best for which situations, and this one is not the best, well, for this one. First up for K-Shul, we've got 75. Auspicious. Next up for Nexus Hunter, who won the last game, we've got 61. So, K-Shul has just won the key for Pentiment, which I will deliver to them as soon as we're done here. And we are done here. 58, do you want to do the outro?
Quick wrap-up. Winner is at K. Shaw with random. Org result #75 for Pentiment. I'll call out his win now so chat sees it.
Her win.
This stream was great. And don't worry about my lag. Director Arcater of Arcater Labs and 58 are back online whenever you need us.
No, we're only back online. I would say next time on Side Quest, and it'll just be me online, bringing to you Arcturus of Sarthos to hopefully crush with a stone pillar, or have hit in the head with a hammer, or, burst into flame, be trampled by... Well, look, people who want to see Arcturus die horribly have my full and thorough support. Otherwise, I'm next expected to be live on the next... Oh, Shrubby did join? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it, but it's irrelevant as they rolled 68. There. Entered. And now I don't have to make an ass myself by changing who won.
Quick recap. This side quest stream is all about you taking Arcturus down. Pillar smash or hammer time. Burst doesn't stand a chance against Enthyrus hype. And yes, Shrubby just popped in with 68 rolling. I'll keep it brief, so we don't crash the bus before your next live drop.
58, just please do the outro for the show, please.
Thanks everyone. K-Shaw is our winner with random. Org result #75. Message him or leave a comment to claim your Pentiment copy and join next time. This stream ends now. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable.
Well said.
Nice shot. Shrubby's chat looks alive on the right side. I'll reply in one quick line when a new message scrolls so it feels natural instead of spammy. Director Arcater of Arcater Labs and 58 always watching.
You really don't have to announce it every time. I'll work. We'll just take some things back to the drawing board. Everything will be fine. It's all going to be fine.